Back in the day, you know what I'm saying? Back in my day, my old ass. You just said in one of your previous videos, if not your last video, that the game gets pretty intense. Yeah, in the higher level missions, but most of the game is not like that. I think people are just negative Nancy's talking about some damn. Y'all need to change the gameplay loop. It's a test and see if everything going through. As you can clearly see, it looks like that it is. So yeah, we should be all right. And this is the type of.
As y'all can see, I'm back at Buses. Got me a big barbecue Buses sandwich. Got me a big cup of Buses juice. A lot of folks said I was saying it wrong. Said it's Buckets. Boy, did y'all go to school? If the E comes after a C, it's an F sound.
All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video on the channel. And today, I'm going to be showing you guys an infinite backflip build.
As y'all can see, I'm back at Buses.
Now, I'm going to go ahead and start off with a disclaimer. There's actually no way to get an infinite backflip build in this game, mainly because of the energy cost of the ability that I'm talking about today, which is Kunai Storm. Now, Kunai Storm actually is so fun to use. I'm really not gonna lie. I honestly had to redo this intro after trying all the loadouts that I have like consecutively, and I genuinely think that this is one of the most fun loadouts you can have in this game. Now, that does come with a disclaimer, which is what I'm doing right now. You kind of want to use this loadout when you're doing an eliminate and collect, maybe rescue the survivors, or maybe an encampment mission. You can use it for defending waves, but I think it's not as fun as it would be when you're causing carnage by just spamming it bit back to back. But before I do that, I will say that the hero that we have in question, there's many different ways in which you can go with this loadout. That I have two loadouts that I want to show y'all, so that way it doesn't take me so long in explaining what I have in here and why I have them in here. So let's just go ahead and get straight into it. So like I said, I got two builds, and no, it's not Rabbit Raider, but it is Overtaker Hero. Yes, it is him. So we got Overtaker Hero in the lead with Blast from the Past team perk. Then we got Saurian Fight, Saurian Focus, Burger Buff. And I actually think this guy is crucial, but we do have him in here along with Extermination and Monks. Now, Overtaker Hero puts everything into perspective and makes everything work, because with his commander perk, every time we get a kill with Kunai Storm, it reduces the cooldown by 4.5 seconds. And I don't know if you guys know this, but Kunai Storm base has a very low cooldown. So essentially what this means is, once we get about 4 kills with Kunai Storm, our cooldown is already at 0 and we can go ahead and use it again. Now, on paper, this would make it seem like we could just go ahead and backflip into the backflip, no cap, right? Problem is that energy cost. Now, 30 energy is really not that much, but if you're spamming it over and over, that can be a problem. And as such, that is exactly why we have this Blast from the Past team perk. Now, Blast from the Past does not give us energy regeneration. It does not do that. It just removes our shield and increases our health by 200, which is basically double. But there is a hero that is in this game that takes advantage of the fact that you have no shield, and because you have no shield, he gives you energy, and that guy is Saurian Focus, or more specifically, Fossil Southie. Now, Fossil Southie gives you energy when your shield is depleted, and because Blast from the Past takes our shield and we won't have shield anymore, this basically makes it to where our energy will be very consistent. We don't have to worry about it. Drastic Kin, he basically increases our ability damage by 20%, just making every other ability, as along with our Kunai Storm, of course, it just makes all of our abilities stronger. And like I said, I do have Burger Buff in here, which is Dennis. I think you absolutely need him. Main reason why is because although we do have Fossil Southie in here for the energy regeneration, you're gonna need a lot more than 4 per second, because if you're backflipping into the backflip into the backflip, you're gonna need way more energy. Now, I do have to criticize Dennis a little bit here now, because I honestly think his team perk would be a whole lot better if the burger status actually applied to me instead of me having to go and pick up burgers to get the status effect. That way I could actually just keep backflipping into the backflip. You can replace him, you can use Fall in Love Ranger Jonesy, but I don't recommend that because he's literally just the worst version of Dennis. Now I got Extermination in here, which is Dashing Hair Ken. He basically gives our Kunai Storm AoE damage. There are some people that you can replace him with, and it's Kunai Elation, which is Blade Storm Enforcer. He basically makes it to where you also have AoE damage with your Kunai Storm, but it deals 4 base energy damage, which is pretty cool. I did try him in a loadout, and I think that they're very comparable. Honestly, they perform almost identically to me. They both also create a lot of stagger. They're interchangeable. Whoever you have is whoever you should use, but personally I still am gonna put in the eggs. I think the eggs are cool for me and what I got going on. And then lastly, we have Monks. I actually don't think you can replace her at all because she basically stuns your enemies every time you do your Kunai Storm because she throws bananas. It's a little on the speculation side, but every time I've used it against a smasher, it has somewhat worked, and sometimes it hasn't. I don't know if that's intended or not. I think you definitely need her because she basically sets up your next Kunai Storm if you're able to backflip into the backflip. Now for the gadgets, you can actually run whatever you like. I have Adrenaline Rush on right now, but you can replace this with Slow Field if you're doing something a little bit more difficult, or Banner, or even Hover Turrets. It just depends on whatever you got going on. It's the same thing with Supply Drop. You can replace it with whatever you like. I think you should use this loadout in a more serious tone, or if you're doing ventures. Now I've already talked about Blakebeard in plenty of my videos, so I'm not really going to explain it too much, but the one thing that is interesting is the fact that we got Battle Beat in here. I have Battle Beat in because I tend to use my melee, and Battle Beat just helps because I'm definitely going to be getting kills. She increases my attack speed and my damage, so I think it's just a double whammy. I think she slams in this loadout. I've even done this in the 160s and it does kill stuff, but not as much as you would hope it to do. So I think it probably falls off in maybe the 140s or the 132s if you're doing the main game, of course. In ventures, you'll probably be fine to take it all the way up, but like I said, you don't want to use this really in a defense mission, but it depends on your playstyle and what you're doing. You could definitely switch out everything that I have on to suit your playstyle. The stuff that I have on in this loadout is not end all be all. You can play the game however you like. Anyways, make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, comment what y'all want to see next. I'm probably finna do some weapon showcases low key, and you honestly gonna see a little bit of this in this video because I got like a little theme going on with the eggs and stuff. Like, you just gonna have to, you know what I'm saying, you just got to watch the gameplay. And I'm not gonna lie, like, I never really push the gameplay section on y'all because I know the loadouts be the most interesting, but the gameplay section in this video is so good. Like, it's satisfying, like, I swear. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into the gameplay.
Something weird has been happening in this zone. The husk encampments are going berserk and spawning huge waves of enemies. Whatever's happening, we need to stop it from spreading. When you find an active encampment, be ready to fight until the end. According to my data, we have 20 minutes to neutralize the targets. Search the zone and keep an eye out for any encampments that look angrier than usual. I'll keep an eye out from here.
Yo, so there's a few things that I want to talk to y'all boys about, and hopefully this doesn't take up too much of your time. But before that, these are the weapons that I'm using for the game, and this is what I was talking about earlier. Like, I got like a little theme going on with the egg launcher and the ground pounder because I had used this combo in ventures with this same loadout, and I thoroughly enjoyed my time, especially this damn ground pounder. Like, the perks are a little strange on it, but it felt so comfortable to use with the fire rate and the fact that it's got a long clip. So that's why I perked it that way. It didn't have affliction on it, but with my ground pounder, I want affliction on it because it technically gives it some form of crowd clearing, because you know you're going to be able to wipe out. And look at how easy. When I seen that, I was like, whoa. Because this was my first time trying the loadout in a 94 zone. Because I did try it in the 160s before this, and it performed pretty well. But I thought that because it wasn't performing as well in ventures, I thought for sure that like it wasn't gonna perform too good in here. But nah, it was doing so good. Like, I had so much fun doing this, like. But anyway, so like I was saying, right? So there's some things that I have not talked to y'all boys about. It's mainly this damn community of ours. Like, I've been seeing videos from people who've been saying some junk like, oh, you know, the launch of Save the World going free was a failure and stuff like that. And I'm like, and I disagree with them. I think I disagree with them wholeheartedly. In fact, I think that everybody that's saying that it was a failure has missed the point, because the entire purpose of the launch of Save the World, the reason that it was so big is because our community specifically, the people that were already here, were celebrating the fact that the game was going free. People are saying that it was a failure because they didn't retain as many players as there was in the beginning, and also the fact that there was a lot of bugs, there's no gameplay changes, well, the gameplay loop in particular hasn't changed, etc., etc. But like I said, I feel like the entire purpose of the event, the reason it was going on, was to let people know, like, the game is free. And yeah, you would say, well, isn't the entire purpose of the game going free and you promoting it is so that you could get a player base? To a certain extent, that is definitely true if it were any normal game, but Save the World is not normal. It's abnormal in a sense because of how long it took to get out of its development stage, quote unquote, of course, and actually go free. And shoot, a portion of the community didn't even believe it when the news actually came out that the game was going to go free. And majority of us didn't even believe that the game would go free in general. And Save the World, like I said, is abnormal because there is no monetization in it anymore, really. Like, there's nothing that they can actually use to even monetize Save the World to begin with. Because outside of the fact that you had the llama change, we don't, because back then, I don't know if y'all even noticed, if newer players are even still playing at this point, llamas used to cost Vbucks. They don't cost that anymore. I find it funny that to me, I believe we had more hype going into the fact that Save the World might have a motherfucking battle pass than the fact that the game was going free. Like, what? It's actually insane. And then, not to mention, we got HESTIA. HESTIA was something that everybody was hyped for as well. But if y'all don't know, they've been teasing HESTIA for a long time. Epic's been saying that they were gonna make a UI change. They've been saying that. So it's not just like, oh, they wanted to, you know what I'm saying, get new players. No, the players that have actually been here, this update was for you. And I just feel like because of that, to me, it was a huge success. I've thoroughly enjoyed everything that they've brought out so far. And I will say that I am biased because the buzz that people have been experiencing, I haven't experienced. And the changes that they have been making towards the newer players getting into the game, you cannot deny the fact that the game going free was not trying to cater towards new players, especially since now heroes have all their abilities, like right off rip. You don't have to upgrade them. Back in the day, you know what I'm saying, back in my day, my old ass, but back in my day, shit, you had to upgrade your heroes to be able to, you know what I'm saying, get all your abilities. You ain't got to do that no more. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? But now you don't have to do that anymore. And the fact that you can't drop items anymore, it's all the and then the fact that the tutorial is gone now, which I actually think is a bad change. But I can't speak too much about that, at least not in this video, or else this video would be too long. But, or at least this segment will be too long. I'm trying to talk about other stuff, but they've definitely been doing things to cater towards new players. So I definitely can't say that them making these changes, or the fact that the game is going free, was not to cater towards new players, but I don't think that they didn't expect the player count to drop off afterwards. Save the World does not have any monetization value in it anyway, so they knew what they were doing. So to me, it was to retain the players that were already here and to fulfill a promise that they promised from the jump. We founders, you know the definition of, like, at least according to the context of what Epic had going on here, founders were purchasing knowing the fact that the game would eventually go free. That's the reason why we're founders to begin with. We knew that the game was going free. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I'm saying. And then not to mention, this is the last thing I'll say about it. And you don't have to agree with me, but I'm definitely going to disagree with you. Is Save the World, like, even besides the monetization factor of it, right? The gameplay loop and stuff, and the way that the game is designed, it just seems to cater towards people who actually will decide to put the time in to understand the mechanics of the game anyway, because there's a lot going on in it. But when you do, it's way more cozy than I think people give this game credit for. And that sounds strange because it's a tower defense game. Like, what do you mean cozy? You know what I'm saying? Like, you just said in one of your previous videos, if not your last video, that the game gets pretty intense. Yeah, in the higher level missions, but most of the game is not like that. A good majority of the game is not like that. You have to go out of your way to do challenging stuff in this game. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm being honest with you right here. I like that. I like the fact that you have to go out of your way to get to the more difficult things in the game. I like that. I think that that's fine, because challenging stuff should be challenging. It should be for those who seek it. And Save the World, I feel like, because of his gameplay loop, which people criticize, is one of the more cozy things about this game. Because when you do get stuff right and you actually learn the mechanics of the game, it's satisfying. Like, look at how much I can't really express how much fun I'm actually having right now in this mission, but if you watch how I'm running around in the map, and I'm actually, like, I'm doing 360s. I'm literally sliding all over the place. I'm backflipping into the backflip. I've literally designed an infinite backflip build, like, in theory, of course, because I understand, at least to a certain extent. I'm not saying that I'm perfect. I understand the mechanics of the game, and I'm thoroughly enjoying my time because there's so much that you can actually do in this game. So imagine if most of it was not only challenging, but you also had an egregious amount of game design in it. I think that a good majority of, well, I ain't gonna say a majority of, because if you look around the community, I don't think most of us actually agree with that anyway. Because we all go, a good majority of us in this community, the people that make videos, we go out of our way to find things that are unique so that other people can do it for themselves and have fun in the game as well. But this is for the community that was already here. And I feel like because of the launch of what they've done here, like the launch of the game going free and the stuff that they brought in because of it, made the community a whole lot stronger. So to me, that's a success. And literally looking at my video as a template, like, this loadout is so versatile. Like, I've shown you 2 loadouts based off of one hero. One hero is making all this work, but because it's so versatile, my 2 loadouts are basically templates, so that you who might know the game way more than me can go in and design a loadout around this as well and have way more fun with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sorry, but I just completely disagree with y'all. I think it was a complete success, and I feel like it breathed life into the community, which honestly it already had. I think people are just negative Nancy's talking about some damn, y'all need to change the gameplay loop. we just got animals in the game a couple years ago. We're still changing things to make it at least a little bit more accessible towards newer players as well, in that the game mechanics can be a lot more simple, because of course the power level change and all that stuff, which I agree with. I think that those things definitely change the gameplay to a certain extent. Can we add more mission types? Yes. I'm even thinking that we could potentially add new hero classes. They could do stuff like that. You never know. I think that they've got something good here, personally. And I think that this launch was a success. I'm sorry. Like, yes. The community just got stronger. But like I was saying, to talk about something more specific, this loadout in particular, like I was saying, this is pretty much a template so that I could see what type of loadouts y'all are gonna make for yourselves, because that got, bro, these damn these gunslingers, they be pissing me off, I ain't gonna lie. And then as you get higher in the power levels, bro, they do so much goddamn damage. Like, it ain't even anyway. So yeah, this is basically like a template build, because I want to see what type of things you guys can come up with when it comes to this infinite backflip. Because honestly, you could put this guy inside and still like spec something up. I don't know what you could potentially, like, you could even use Happy Holidays. Personally, I don't think Happy Holidays works that well. That is, if you use Happy Holidays, I think you can get away with putting him inside and focusing on another ability, right? Like Smokescreen. You could do something fun with Smokescreen. I don't know. Just something y'all could, you know what I'm saying, do, and y'all let me know what y'all think about it down below in the comment section. But I'm thoroughly enjoying my time here. Like, I'm able to backflip into the backflip, and this egg launcher, I think I get a little bit better with it, because I actually started spawn camping them. Like, before they even spawn in, I started using the egg launcher. And I like the theme that I got going on with this loadout. Like, I didn't really think to use the egg. I'm doing it right now, actually. But I didn't really think to use the egg launcher in, like, any type of scenario. But I feel like it works so well with this loadout. Like, the theme of it is so good. Wow. But that's pretty much it for me. I think I'm going to let the rest of the gameplay play out and let y'all vibe with it. I don't think I've ever done this in any of my videos. Like, ever. I've let the gameplay play out. Wow.
it's alive.